What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Neg Entropy Chronicles. So let's just jump past this, man. All those openers and stuff like that. What I'm going to talk about is Kevin Samuels. And I'm going to be honest, he kind of exposed a lot of the insecurities within our community. And if you think I'm joking, I'm going to explain to you why. We look for how we're spoken to. Only when it comes from a certain group of individuals. If it's essentially a black man, you gotta watch your tone. You gotta watch how you say it to them. You gotta watch and coddle their feelings. But if a woman says it, depending on the topic, they might say, I respect that because it's coming from a place of good nature and things like that. But it's so ironic to me when people say, well, Kevin Samuels was gay and all of that stuff. The black community, especially the females in the black community, are some of the biggest supporters of gay black men. Actually, I have seen gay black men say some of the most egregious stuff to him, and they support it. They're like, yeah, he might be a little rough around the edges, but he's just keeping it real. But if a dude who claims himself as to be straight, the first thing you want to do is say, oh, he's zesty, he gay, he this, he that, in order to discredit him, even though that's the same community that you support wholeheartedly under any other circumstance. And you're mad at somebody's words when a dude asks you, why are you having babies before you get married? Married before you carry. Why are you carrying multiple kids from multiple men and not requiring marriage from them? Why do you think having a baby is easier raising and having a kid is easier than marriage? Things like that. Oh, you need to understand what the wealth situation is. Because look at it right now. We've got houses all across the U.S. that are so expensive, most people can't even afford them. They got to move in with family members. Things like that. Or they might have to move back in with a baby daddy that they can't stand, or vice versa. Who knows? But if you were in a healthy relationship, y'all can be married, making moolah together, and paying the bills. But no. We got women out here bragging about, oh, if you had 6 kids by one man, this is how much you'd get in child support. But if you have multiple kids by multiple baby daddies, this is how much you're getting a month. Do you know the amount that this lady gave only totaled $24,000 a year? That's how sick in the head some of these people are. And they're actually celebrated. But a man that says, stop doing that. Stop just laying down making babies with everybody else. Oh, well, wasn't he laid up with somebody the day he died? Did he get her pregnant? And even if you look at the topics that he talks about, he says men have the options. Women don't. Because the more men that a woman has sex with, it devalues her. Only because nobody wants somebody that's been tossed around. Now, granted, that's speculative. But if he's talking from a certain group of individuals who've had these conversations, he's actually giving you light into a community that you would no otherwise have any information on. But now they're starting to tell you, and y'all are getting upset because y'all actually getting the game from a man when y'all always ask, well, men don't tell us what they think. They don't say nothing. They don't do this. Got a man that told you it. Now he's gay. He hates women. He's a misogynist. He's this and that and all of these problems. And yet once, when these men call this stuff out and they say, why don't you get it together? You somehow deflect it back onto the men. And it started showing the contradictions there. It started showing the insecurity in a lot of these women. Because truth be told, we wouldn't know half of this stuff. You wouldn't know who Kevin Samuels was if the women didn't call in. But they would call in order to prove him wrong. And as the questions and the conversation kept going, you started realizing that these women had to start admitting that they were actually a problem. That's why a lot of people don't talk about this. He had a lot of marriages that started coming up from his, discourse systems and stuff like that. People interacting with each other, people getting to know each other, getting married at high numbers, just because they all started to find the same ideologies. The problem is, in our community, we have a lot of people who have a bunch of different ideologies, and we're so insecure and so in combat with each other, i.e., what you're wearing. What's the name brand? How much money you got in your pocket? How much money you got in your bank account? What type of job you got? All of these different things that we care about, and yet no one's benefiting off of any of it. No one's getting married. Everybody's getting divorced. Kids are being unborn out of wedlock at a high rate. because we're so busy worried about other stuff instead of actually focusing on a path. Our culture doesn't have a path, and I'm included in it. If you really look at it, the system, everybody can quote what the system's issues is, right? But can't nobody actually tell you a plan. And when these people come with a plan and tell you how to follow it, you want to go against them. Why? Because they actually gave you an idea? Or is it that they called out something that hit you to the core? I'm telling you, when this man died, I seen so much hatred spewed, people laughing, celebrating this man's death. But y'all will say R.I.P. to the dude who was a terrorist in your hood, who shot up people, who took things from people, thieves, robbers, killers, shooters. Y'all celebrate these people who actually do damage to the community, destroy the community consistently. But a man that said, get your stuff together, stop blaming everybody else, you need to check yourself. Oh, I'm gonna celebrate his death because I ain't like him anyways, because he a woman hater, he gay, he all this and all this different stuff. That don't make no sense to me. You got women, y'all got women in the community that y'all celebrate who actually kept the secret of the person who violated you as a kid. But y'all celebrate them. Let's talk about it. If we really gonna go there, we can go there. Y'all keep all of this stuff secret for the people who do the worst to you, but a person who just used some words, oh, he's the actual villain. But you still shaking hands and giving hugs to the person who violated you as a kid, and you still showing love to the other family members who knew about it and didn't do nothing about that guy. But somehow, all the men that don't know nothing about it, that just run around in the community, are actually more vile and worse than the people that you actually shake hands with. It's a shame. I can show you a video with Kendra G right now talking about how the female community is actually toxic because she was holding a woman accountable. Holding her accountable. I'm not even joking. The lady lied. Repeat that. Lied and was married. No, she had 2 kids by 2 different fathers, but she only claimed one of them and said, no, I got 2 kids by 1 father. Once it got caught out, she was like, dude, come on now. How you gonna come on here saying you want an honest man, but you out here lying? You ain't even keeping it real about how many kids fathers you got. Oh, well, and trying to find these loopholes to try to justify it. She ain't even go that hard at her. You know, nothing like that. They told her all through the comments, you mean, you ain't have to go at her like that. Why? Because she held her accountable? Like, because of the internet age, you are seeing more and more people become more hostile and toxic because they don't want to be held accountable. I don't even care if you didn't like the guy. That's not even my opinion. Like, my purpose for this, because did I like everything that man said? No. Like, not even what he said, it was how he talked to certain people. You know, but I understood it because everybody got that uncle somewhere in their family or some cousin or something that just keep it too funky. And you be like, man, I can't deal with him, man. He gonna say something wrong, rude, and we might have to get to scrapping. It happens like that. We all know somebody like that. It might not even be a family member. It might be your best homie or something like that, or best girlfriend or whatever. All of it. You know what I'm saying? We all had them people that we know are just gonna say and do something that is just gonna push the line, toe the line a little bit because they're keeping it too real. That's what he was. But instead, y'all want to celebrate that man's death. That's just weird to me. Like, this internet, man, it has shown so many weird people. I done seen so many toxic comments. I done seen jokes. It's just weird. You know what I mean? But RIP the killers in the hood, because, you know, they really with it. You know, I'm going to show them love because, you know, even though they killed a baby that was down there on 6th, 3rd or whatever number street you can come up with. But, you know, RIP to them, they were still good people. Who is you talking to? This is the foolishness that we hear all the time. They always want to shout out the worst people in our community. And then somehow a dude talking about stop getting knocked up by Pookies and Ray Rays, he's actually the problem. Not the fact that you keep choosing ain't-ish dudes that you want to go online and down talk every chance you get, or just down talk the whole black community. Really, the truth is, it's your problem. Your fault. You knew that guy wasn't nothing, but it was the D, that BDE, had you so hooked that you just couldn't let it go and you thought you could change him. But once again, it was you that thought you could do it. That's it. You know what I mean? I remember my grandfather taught me this game. He was like, you can only do what a woman allows. And that goes for you women to understand. A man can't do much without your acceptance. Period. A man can't get no booty from you if you don't allow him to get the booty. That's why a man be like, you hear men be like, man, a man can't be a player without a woman accepting it. He's actually got to work to get that to happen. She can just say, hey, you want something? And dude gonna be like, yep. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is so stupid. But all I wanted to get at is the insecurity of our community. We actually have a problem where we're celebrating people's deaths, but honoring the real vile and toxic ones. There's something inherently wrong there, because we have black men and black women. I've seen numerous videos where a dude is seeing a woman on stage. Mind you, she is dressed scantily clad, but he's so focused on her sneaker wear that he took his sneakers off and tried to give them to her on stage. Not the fact that she was almost stark naked. He ain't care nothing about that. But your shoes, girl, your shoes. I mean, that's feminine. I'm like, something off there. That boy, there's something off there. Who cares about what type of Jordans a female got on her feet? Are you kidding me? I mean, hey, at least he wasn't just, automatically attracted to the fact that she's just half naked. He cared about her shoes. I don't know. Man, it's just one of those things that I want y'all to understand. There are so many other problems. And because a person called one out, that got in your heart. To the point where you had to take time out your day and say, I celebrate this man's death. Now, you didn't just say, yeah, he did good. Yeah, he did good riddance. But it was stuff like, he lived a disgraceful life. What was disgraceful? If you actually paid attention to what he was talking about, tell me where he was wrong and what he said. I'm just saying, because we have a culture that is a lot of obese people, men and women. Because I remember, I watched videos where he went off on dudes. He was like, dude, you fat, you got a small D, and you only make this amount a year. You can't even be trying to ask for a type of woman and this. It was killing the dude. All the women signing off on it, laughing, yeah, shrimp this and all of that. Let's keep it all the way real. There's a lot of women online that are super toxic. Shrimp emojis, when I first, I was like, what is that? What's that supposed to mean? There's a, small thing, shrimp. I was like, oh, didn't even know that was a thing. But women knew. Women just, this insulting thing is just massive online. You can go on Twitter, you can go on TikTok, Instagram, go anywhere on the World Wide Web, and you can find a section where women wholeheartedly bash men for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And snacks included. There's nothing wrong with that. Are these women toxic? Are these women man haters? Who knows? Because we just let it ride. Because they're women. Now, if you can go by anything I said here and said I'm a woman hater, I'm going to tell you right now you're a fool and you're part of the problem, because you couldn't take no part of this, this criticism or these statements and understand it was coming from somewhere that we have to start looking at ourselves. And stop celebrating stuff when people are actually coming with real information. And if you don't think he came with real information, holler at me in the comments sections and we can really have a discussion about it. And I can actually prove you wrong whole way. If you ain't like what he said and that's all you got to bring me more. All right? But let me know what you think down in the comments section. All right, everybody? Peace.